Alright, hello and welcome in. From Sunnyvale, California, I'm your host, Mark Vierra. This is my weekly technical analysis video where we go through some basic things, highlights that I see in technical analysis, and I'm not making any buying or selling recommendations. I have here at HotStockMarket.com, I have a non-index individual names that I'm trading that I update during the week that you can check out. And also want to mention that past results is no guarantee of the future. So let's get into it. I have some charts queued up. Before we get into the charts, just take a look at the week. We are up 1.3% for the week, and 6.2 for the year, or almost 5% for the quarter. And let's see, the month of June we're doing 2% right now. 3-month low is 1814. We're about 8% off the lows. Now let's take a look at some. Got a current breakout of range. Out of this has just been a really nice tight trend line, and here we are, we're just poking above it. Okay, so what that would mean is that and that's going to be the theme for this video. I think is going to be a little back and fill, and I'm getting that primarily from volume, but I'm going to look at support as being in this area here, which I think we'll look at some closer time fractals here with the weekly, the daily, and get more of an idea. I think that's going to come in around 195. Ultimately, the previous candle here, as I always say, these resistance areas will become support. So that's another support, and that's one of the monthly charts I have. Let's see, the other one here is kind of a loose subjective kind of pivot from this low, capturing this high, and I see prices just coming up to here. I think this would mark the 2000, and this is a monthly chart, so in terms of time frames, that's could be a while from now. If you've been checking out my videos, I'm been pretty bullish on the market. So here's another just wide lens view. This is a weekly chart of the S&P 500. I'm going to zoom in on that, and this is that blue pivot that I've gotten. We're getting support off of that, and now here's where you can kind of see this 195 1950 area. This is ultimate support here. This here should probably look at the next weekly chart. This is where I'm getting, I think, stiff support off the 195. And I get into volume, kind of get an idea of what I'm seeing in terms of a little back and fill for the coming week. Here's a good example. I can see it a little better. 1950, SPY 195. I think would be a good spot to consolidate to. Probably get a nice springboard. I think we will see buyers entering the market at that level. Now let me queue up some daily charts. Okay, just breezing right through trend lines because I really want to get into more important stuff. This wide lens view of the daily chart trend channel. I'm going to zoom in here. I've got some notations here. So let's go over, I think, this one here, capturing these two highs, and current price, and I'm getting, this as an upper range, and here's the previous top. Of course, that's, let me move this over here. That's where I'm getting the 1950 level from. That should be a key level. This would be, and the other thing too is, and I'll show you more on the SPY chart here, is this confluence of these trend lines are kind of throwing up some flags. And here's the ultimate line in the sand down here. This is a pretty good strong trend line, I think. And so not this week. I think this week is probably going to be ending around in this area. So we'll see. It's really it's hardly predictable trying to time exactly where the bounce will be, but I do believe buyers will step in. But I do think that we'll see a little consolidation this week. What other charts daily do I have here? Let's see. There's another kind of a, yeah, that's a wide lens view of it. And a lot of this here is just kind of my own, just subjective. Your objectives are in the solid. That's where I'm getting, pretty good tight type trend lines. These other ones are more, very loose subjective pivots that I've drawn. And this would be an upper range. I think a break down below this, and we'll see this, this 1950 area. And I could be drawing these lines a little better. But yeah, I do think this previous top is going to be an important launch point. And let's see now, before I get into volume, there is, here's fib extension. That's also showing here, this is 1960. I think this is probably a soft support. I think this, 1948, 1950 will be a much stronger support. Of course, time will tell. Let me queue up just one chart pattern I'm looking at this week. So I'm trying to limit chart patterns to, pointing them out before they've hit this. This is your confirmation, your break. This is putting the chart pattern into play. This would be a round bottom. Not to be, a different chart pattern would be a cup and handle, where you'd have something more like this. But this would be a round bottom. This is the confirmation break, and you could even go to the higher upper range to get more. This would be more of a conservative confirmation break. In any case, this chart pattern is in play, and I suspect we will find support off of these key levels here. Previous resistance will become support. And that's the only really chart pattern I'm looking at. Let's see, I put some measurements to it. Conservative target of 1965, 1974, 1975 would be an equidistance. That's a measurement between here, subtracted from this level here. And I do think we're going to see some back and fill. And now I think that I've gone through the basic trend lines and chart pattern for the week. I can get into some volume. So let me queue up some volume charts. So this is probably the main chart I'm looking at for volume composites. A little bit here, but I'm seeing a little bit of a lower low on the RSI with higher highs. Here is a bearish divergence on the daily, which I can say that's more of a near term. Intermediate term, I don't think there's anything really much in the way of changing. This is just a bullish trend if you look at the weekly chart especially. So what is standing out to me here is this above average volume that we've been having on the past two Thursday and Friday, these indecision dojis. Okay, and they have been, Thursday it was testing supply. I think that there was supply. Supply did enter the market somewhat, not a lot. And the fact that it's not this previous selling climax amount is also speaking to just how much of a little back and fill kind of a pullback that I would suspect that we would come down to this confluence of trend lines. I've got this trend line here, which is a pretty good. This is like a loose little pivot from this high to these lows. Got that coming in here. Here's a very objective type trend line, and all of these are coming in around the 195 area. All right, so that's what I suspect is the market will want to do, a little back and fill, just like it did here, Now, whether or not the week ends up or not is, that's tough to say, but I do think that we are going to see a little respect paid to these trend lines here. We've got this volume node right here. It's not really a huge volume node, but this is one that's coinciding with these trend lines here. Of course, current price right now is building a nice little volume node too. So there's support in there. And what else? I'm going to take a look at a few of the composites, but this right here is kind of the main one that I'm focusing on for my suspicion of some back and fill. Take a quick look at the hourly. Do see some bullish volume, a little bit of bearish volume on this move upward here, but then it kind of turned bullish. So really pretty neutral in terms of that. This is a nice little end of the week candle. It's kind of interesting, but this 195 here, this area of lack of interest is where, and even right at the top of this volume node, I think may become the new 10-day point of control. So that's what I'm looking for this week. That's the hourly, 10-day hourly point of control there. Nothing jumping out at me here in terms of the coming week, but what I have noticed is, and like I was commenting in the last video, how the TPO point of control for this is the month. This is shaded area here, and is 70% of the volume activity that's taking place within that time period. And the TPO has been moving up, and as I suspected, the playground area, the shaded area, has been expanding. I think it will expand a bit more too this week, as price wants to be like a magnetic attraction to the point of control for that time period. But nothing in terms that's jumping out at me for this week. Let's see. I think it's more here in the monthly. This is a monthly composite. This was last month's. Like I said, we did get some pretty good support off of the previous top that was resistance, and this is a pretty healthy point of control here, and that is coming in at that 195. So that's where I think that the buyers will step in. And that's it. That's it for volume. We've got a really complacent VIX. Several other indications. Now, U.S. Treasuries, I'm pretty neutral on. I was suspecting some strength in the U.S. Treasuries, and it just took this dive. And this is a main key trend line pivot here, and boy, it just came right back. Really faked me out there. wasn't of course, the market, you can't really expect it's going to do what it's going to do. I really thought this trend line was going to take well, it did kind of get up to the 113. I thought that would be like pretty soft resistance. I thought we'd see more into the 114 area. Maybe this week, if we do get a little bit of consolidation, I think Treasuries is where you will see predominant flow of liquidity. So we'll see if we get back up to that 113 level. Yeah, Treasuries fooled me there. So let's see. I think I'm pretty neutral. Got a positive bias on U.S. Treasuries. And take a look quickly at the U.S. dollar before I call this a video here. U.S. dollar and the euro. Kind of just mirror images in there. So, for the U.S. dollar, I'm thinking neutral sideways range. Getting good volume support. Volume's picking up near this point of control. Of course, we've got some we had really huge volume selling at this price. So I think the elasticity at this price is saying here, with especially like this upper wick, that this level here will be a tough one. I'm more or less thinking just a neutral sideways in here for that and the euro. I think we're seeing a lot of indecision going on. Several fundamental reasons for that. I don't think the market knows quite what to make yet about these recent euro cutting rates. So conversely here with the euro, we've just got this downward channel pressure being applied and an indecision spinning top here to close the week. So I think we're going to see a tight sideways range. I've got this line drawn in here. I think this week we're going to see some filling in of this triangle. We're going to see a symmetrical triangle building is my guess. Not really much volume to say that we're getting a lot of selling activity going on with those upper wicks. So that gives me pretty much of a kind of a neutral. I'm neutral sideways on both the US dollar and the euro. And that is a video. And you can find me always at HotStockMarket.com. Also, a great place to find information and discussion here is subreddit StockMarket. I have a weekly trading log where every Sunday I post all these images, and also have the my non-index trades that I update, little comment on the market, and my individual trades that I'm doing are posted here during the week. And that's it. I'll hope to see y'all on the boards.